Hello everyone, this is Lalita ma'am, and once again I am here to explain you the second part of the lesson, reproduction. Okay, so as in the previous video, we have discussed about what is reproduction and what are the two types of reproduction. So in short, we discussed about like what is sexual reproduction. But in today's video, we are going to continue with the part sexual reproduction. Okay, so before we could start the new topic, let us quickly revise what we have studied in the previous video. So reproduction is the process by which a new organism is born. Okay, so the process of giving birth to the young ones is known as reproduction of their own type. Okay, so like human beings give birth to human beings, a dog gives birth to dog, and so on. So this process of reproduction can be it is of two types: sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. So asexual reproduction, as we discussed before, it is a type of reproduction in which the new individuals are formed only with the involvement of only one parent. So only one parent is involved in the production of offspring. And when two parents are involved, such type of reproduction is known as sexual reproduction. So children, be ready for the this new topic, that is sexual reproduction in detail. So let us study about sexual reproduction in detail. So what is sexual reproduction? As you can see here, when a child is born, he is small. Okay, like he is very young. So this is the young child. When the child is born, looks somewhat like this. Yes, the child cannot sit directly, but yes. So this is the first phase, you can say. Okay, so but before this, only a single cell. So this child is developed from the single cell, and this is known as zygote. Okay, so from one cell, we develop into many cells. Like our body grows when many cells are developed from one cells because of cell division. So this zygote transforms into a child. Okay, then the child again grows further and grows into a like boy. Okay, let us say of like when the child is of 8 to 10 years around age. Okay, then after that the child grows into an adult. So after above 18, yes, adolescent period. And then after that, the complete like growth takes place and the child transforms into a man, into a complete adult. So this is the phase of growth. But all these human beings, or they are born because that in which type of reproduction? By sexual reproduction. So sexual reproduction, we can define it as it is a type of reproduction in which two parents are involved. And like the type of reproduction in which two parents are involved for giving birth to a young one. So such type of reproduction is known as sexual reproduction. So is it clear what is sexual reproduction? A type of reproduction in which when two parents are involved for giving birth to the young ones, that is known as sexual reproduction. And most of the plants and animals, even including human beings, they reproduce asexually. So for the birth of most of the plants and animals, even human beings, two parents are responsible. Okay, two parents are involved. Now let us go and see the next one. What is the difference between sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction? So in case of asexual reproduction, one parent is involved, and in case of sexual reproduction, two parents or two organisms are involved. Okay, now for asexual reproduction, gametes are not produced. There no formation of gamete takes place in case of asexual reproduction. Then in case of sexual reproduction, gametes are produced. So when the male cell fuses with the female cell, it forms the gamete. So when the male cell fuses with the female cell, that is known as This process is known as fertilization, and because of fertilization, gametes are formed. Now, in case of asexual reproduction, as only one parent is involved, so the offsprings are exactly identical to the parent. Like when you talk about it in case of sexual reproduction, that like dogs maybe may not exactly resemble or exactly be identical to the dog, because here two parents are involved. So the new offspring gets the varies genetically because it has the cells of both parents. So because of that, it is not exactly identical, not identical. There is a variation. Okay, there is a variation. They are not exactly identical because here two parents are involved. So it gets the characteristics of both. Okay. Now, in case of asexual reproduction, mitotic type of cell division takes place. Okay. And here, in case of sexual reproduction, meiotic type of division. So, mitosis and meiosis, these are the two types of cell division. So, in case of asexual reproduction, mitotic division takes place. In case of meiotic division, in case of sexual reproduction, meiosis takes place. And here the zygote develops by, but the zygote, it develops by mitotic division. Now, large number of plants are produced in a very short period of time. So, in case of asexual reproduction, it takes place in plants. So, large number of like plants can be produced in very short time. So, you can say that when there are certain species which are endangered, so you can develop such type of species by using asexual reproduction. Plant species, we are talking about plant species, and here comparatively the number produced is less as compared to that of asexual reproduction. Okay, so now what is like in basically in this chapter we'll be dealing with the reproduction in human beings. We'll be dealing the main topic will be how reproduction takes place in human beings. Okay. Now, in human beings, as you know, like males and females, they have different reproductive system, and they also have different reproductive organs. Okay, so male has different reproductive organ, female has their different reproductive organs. Now, these reproductive organs have a special function to perform. Every organ has special function. So these organs, they have special function to perform. Okay. Now, male and female, they produce special reproductive cells. Okay. So now the reproductive cells produced by male gamete is called a sperm. So male produce sperm cells, female produce ovum cells. So when these sperm cells and ovum cells, they fuse, that process is known as fertilization. And when fertilization takes place, zygote is formed. And this zygote, it consists of male as well as female, both the cells. And then this zygote, again further cell division takes place, and then baby is developed. Okay, so this sperm and ovum, fusion of sperm and ovum, it initiates, you can say it initiates the formation of baby. Okay, now human sperm. This is the structure of human sperm. So the human sperm is released by the male reproductive organ. Okay, so it is released by the male reproductive organ, that is penis. So inside it, this like from penis, the sperm is released. Now this sperm is divided into three parts. One, so head, midpiece, and tail. Now this head part, it is the nucleus. This contains the nucleus of the this sperm cell, and this part, midpiece part, it contains mitochondria. Now this sperm cell, like this mitochondria, it provides, as you know, in the previous videos of cell chapter, we have discussed that mitochondria, it provides energy to the cell. Okay, so this mitochondria, it gives energy to this sperm cell to move further. Okay, so it gives energy to move further is given by mitochondria. And what is the function of this tail? This tail helps in movement. So the function of tail is to help in the movement, so that it moves properly. Okay, so that for proper movement, this tail is given. Okay, so human sperm is released by the like penis, by the male reproductive organ, and then it has a nucleus, midpiece, and tail. This head part is contains its nucleus. Nucleus is like a brain of the cell, and then midpiece, it contains mitochondria, and there are certain other we can say other organelles also present in the cell. And then it has this flagellum, the thread-like structure which is present inside it, inside the tail part, that is known as flagellum. And this tail part helps in the movement of the cell in the forward direction. Now, let us see how the female cell looks. Okay, so the female cell is known as ovum. So, ovum is female cell. Okay, now this female cell, it is produced by the it is released by the ovaries. Okay, so the ovaries that are present in the inside the like it is a reproductive organ. It is a reproductive, female reproductive organ. So the function of this female reproductive organ is to release ovary. So these ovary is to release ovum. So this is the female cell. Now this is the structure of ovum. So this is the structure of ovum. Now what does it contain? As again, your ovum is a cell, it contains nucleus. So this is the nucleus of ovum. Okay, or this ovum cell. Now it also contains cytoplasm, jelly-like fluid. Okay, then it has a membrane. It has different parts. Okay, and then what happens is when this ovum meets a sperm, then fertilization takes place. Okay, now let us see how this fertilization takes place, like, and how does it happen. Okay, now fertilization. What is fertilization? As you can see here in this image, this is ovum. Okay, and this is sperm. So this sperm and ovum, the sperm is moving towards the ovum, and when it is able to fuse this, okay, when it is able to fuse and enter, like fuse this ovum, when the sperm is able to fuse the ovum, then when they join, it forms a zygote. Okay, and this process of fusion of male and female gamete, that is fusion of sperm and ovum, is known as fertilization. Okay, so the fusion of sperm and ovum is known as fertilization. And because of fertilization, zygote is formed. So this zygote, it contains male cell, that is sperm cell, and then it also contains ovum cell. Yes, so one male cell and one female cell. Okay, so this is called as fertilization, and after fertilization, it starts, like it initiates the baby formation. So the formation of baby starts after fertilization. So fertilization is the necessary condition for the formation of baby. Human beings, they reproduce sexually. So for in reproduction of human beings, we require a male as well as female. So we need two parents for the formation of human baby. Now what happens is the sperm and the egg, this egg is ovum. So the sperm and the ovum, as discussed in the previous slides, when they fertilize, when they fuse, they form a zygote. So this is zygote. Even though it is considered as a single cell, but it is made up of two cells. What are those two cells? One is sperm cell and other one is ovum cell. So because of the fusion of one sperm and ovum, this zygote is formed. Now it undergoes division, like from one cell, again, like it splits up into two cells. Then like one cell, it splits up into two cells. Now these two cells, like again, each one of it will divide, and we will have like different many number of cells. And then when this multiplication takes place, it forms fetus. So fetus is just the initial stage of baby. Okay. So after 9 months, the baby is born. Okay. And after 9 months, the baby after birth is known as infant. Then the baby grows and develops, and then after the age of, we can say after 10 or 11, the baby is known as adolescent. So after 11, okay, the baby is known as adolescent. Then this adolescent, they grow up and they convert into an adult. Then they give birth to the babies, and this cycle goes on and on and on. Okay. So in this way, the human beings reproduce. Okay. Now we will discuss individually about the male reproductive organ as well as the female reproductive organ in detail. The male reproductive organ. Let us discuss about the male reproductive organ in detail. Now, this is the male reproductive organ. It has four major parts. One is testis. Then second is sperm duct. Third is penis. And fourth is urethra. Now, this testis part, let us discuss one by one. So this testis, it is present, it is present in pair. Okay, it is always present in pair. So there are two testes present on either sides. Now this testis, it is located in a bag-like structure. You can see here, this is like a bag-like structure. So this bag-like structure, it is known as scrotum. So located in scrotum. What is scrotum? It is a bag-like structure which is present outside the body. Okay. So this it is made this testis, you can say, it is present outside, externally or outside the body. Okay. And underneath the penis, it is present outside and underneath the penis, under the penis part. Okay. So this is testis. Now this testis itself, it contains several coiled tube-like structures. It has many coiled tube-like structures. Okay. So those coiled tube-like structures, their function is to produce the sperm cells. So these tube-like structures, they produce the sperm cells. And these sperm cells, after they are produced, they travel through a pipe-like structure or tube-like structure. And this tube-like structure is known as sperm duct. So we can also call it as vas deferens. So sperm duct is a tube-like structure from where through which sperms travel. Okay, so sperms travel, and from where the sperms are released? These sperms are released in this coil-like structure present inside the testis. So testis releases sperm, ovaries releases ovum. So now once these are released, they travel through this structure, and when they come here, so here you can see we have a different, on the way, there are different glands. Okay, glands are nothing but, as we have discussed in the previous lesson, glands are the organs that release some chemical substances. So this seminal vesicle, it releases a fluid which mixes with the sperm, and then which is also known as semen. So mixture, semen is the mixture of this liquid or the fluid plus sperm. Okay, so that semen, it enters here. So now this is prostate gland. Again, prostate gland releases some more fluids, and then it that mucus like fluid, and then it mixes, and from after that it comes to the penis part, and from penis it travels through the penis, and then from urethra. What is urethra? It is a opening from where like urine comes out. So the passage of sperm and urine both are same. Okay, so from urethra it is ejected out from the body of the male, and it enters to the female body. Okay, so from urethra or penis transfers the sperm to into the female body, and there it then travels. Okay, now let us discuss about the female reproductive organ. Again, female reproductive organ, as you all know, like it starts with, like we have again divided, it has some parts. One is ovary, second is uh, fallopian tube, then third is uterus, and then fourth is vagina. Now ovaries, these ovaries take turn to produce the, now these ovaries, they produce ovum. Okay, so the function of ovary is to produce ovum, and these ovum are nothing but the female cells. Now these female cells, they are released, or this fembry here, this part is known as fembry. So this fembry is responsible to hold or to catch that ovum or the egg, and to bring it to the fallopian tube. So this is fallopian tube. Okay, already it's written here. So this is fallopian tube. This is fallopian tube. So this fembry holds the ovum, and then it travels through the fallopian tube. And now then after that it if there is like now this shape of the ovary, you can see the shape of the ovary is like the shape of almond. Its shape and size is similar to that of almond shape. Okay, now when the girl reaches puberty, this ovary starts releasing the eggs, and these eggs travel through the fallopian tube. And if there is no fertilization, means when there is no sperm here, or when the sperm is not able to fuse with this ovum, when it comes here, when it is in the fallopian tube, when there is no fertilization, so it travels its journey, it begins, and it implants, it comes here in the uterus, and the lining about which we have already studied in the menstrual cycle topic. So this lining of the uterus sheds, and then menstrual cycle takes place. Okay, now uterus is the organ. Like if there is fertilization, what if there is a fertilization? What if the sperm has entered? Now the male transfers the sperm through the from the penis through the vagina. Okay, so from penis the sperms are transferred into the vagina of the female, and these sperms, they travel through this fallopian tube, and while traveling millions of sperms, like at a time millions of sperms are released. So millions of sperms, they die on the way, but if one sperm is able to reach the ovum, and if it is able to fertilize it, then the zygote is formed. Then that zygote is implanted in the uterus, and then the cell division takes place. And this zygote will develop into a baby. And if there is no fertilization, again there will be menstrual cycle lining will be shed. Okay. So I hope now you are clear with the male and female reproductive organ. So during the time of fertilization, the different steps that takes place, these are written in detail. So once a month, an ovum is released from the ovary by a process which is known as ovulation. Then after ovulation, ovum moves into the oviduct. This ovum moves into the oviduct. This is oviduct. Okay. So ovum moves into the oviduct. Then the male transfers sperms into the vagina through the penis during sexual intercourse. So during sexual intercourse, the male transfers sperms into the vagina through the with the help of penis, and then it transfers the sperm into the body of the female. Then these sperms, they travel through the cervix into the uterus and then to the oviduct. So these sperms, they travel through the cervix. From cervix it travels through the uterus and then uterus to oviduct. Okay. It may go here, it will go here also. So wherever the ovum is there, it will be able to fertilize that. Okay. Then because sperm doesn't know that which ovary has released the ovum. Okay. So sperm travels through the cervix into the uterus and then it goes to the oviduct, and then a single sperm, only one sperm. Now what happens, as you might be thinking, as ma'am has said, there are millions of sperm cells at a time released. So these millions of sperm cells, maybe many of it like may die before it reaches here. But if there are, suppose, let us say 2 or 3 sperm cells have reached here, but the first one, the first sperm which is able to fertilize the ovum, once that fertilization takes place, so a covering is formed on the, you can say, a protective layer is formed which does not allow further fertilization. So once the fertilization takes place, so no further fertilization is done. Okay, so the sperm which is reaching first will be able to fertilize it first. Now this fertilized ovum implants itself in the uterus and then develops into embryo. So in this way, the development of baby takes place. Now, sex determination of the baby. Now, many a times, like in many places or many people have a misconception that the sex of the baby is determined by like mother. But as you know, the female sex organ, the ovaries, okay, the female sex organ releases female cells, ovum. And ovum contains, there are 2 types of sex chromosomes before like X and Y. And the female contains both X chromosomes and male contains combination of XY. So when the 2 sex chromosomes, when the sperm cell carrying X chromosome, yes, from the female, and the sperm cell, definitely it will carry X because female has only X chromosome. So this X chromosome from female, it will give only XX. So when this X fertilizes with the sperm cell, now the sperm cell of the man, like yeah, the sperm cell, it contains either it may be the cell containing X chromosome or it may be the cell containing Y chromosome. So as there are like millions of sperm cells that are released, so these sperm cells, it contains only one type of sex chromosome. Either it will contain X or it will contain Y. So with ovum, if this X containing sperm will fuse, so already it has X and this X, so it will develop into a girl child. And if the sperm containing Y is able to fuse it first, then it will have one X and one Y, so it will develop into a baby boy. So the chromosomes, they contain genetic information. Okay, as we know that chromosomes, these are the like in chromatin fiber in the cells, you might have seen like they in the nucleus they are present. So they contain genetic information, and each cell contains 23 pairs of chromosomes. Out of 23 pair,
one pair is of sex chromosome. And sex chromosomes, they are of two types, X and Y. So male contains XY and female contains XX. So female can contribute only X chromosome and male can contribute either X or Y. So the sex of the baby is determined by which sperm cell, like whether the sperm cell containing X chromosome is fusing or the sperm cell containing Y chromosome is fusing. So the sex of the baby is determined by father's sperm, not by the mother. Okay. So sex determination depends upon the sperm, contribution of sperm, which sperm has contributed in fusion. Now, after fertilization, what happens? The baby develops inside the womb. After fertilization, zygote is formed, and that zygote, which contains one sperm cell and one ovum cell. So this zygote repeatedly forms a ball of cells. So it forms like a ball of cells. And by the 4th week after fertilization, by the 4th week means after a 1 month, it implants itself in the uterus and then it is called as embryo. So after 4th week, when that zygote implants itself in the uterus, so after its implantation, it is called as embryo. Then during this stage, it receives nutrition directly from mother's blood. Okay. So when it is present in the, when it implants itself, so directly it receives nutrition from the mother's blood. Then embryo, it again grows and develops further. Okay. And then after it develops further, so the stage of growth of embryo when most of the body parts start developing. After this, like the body parts starts developing, and these stage when the body parts are identified, that stage is known as fetus. So initially, after fertilization, it is called as zygote. Then after 4th week, it implants itself in the uterus as a ball of cells. Then it is known as embryo. And this embryo, when the body parts are identified, it is known as fetus. And the baby stays in the uterus for around 40 weeks. And this period for 40 weeks during which the baby is in the uterus, that period is known as gestation period. And during this, the baby receives nourishment from the placenta. Okay. You can see with the help of umbilical cord. Okay. When fetus is fully developed, now what happens? The wall of the uterus, it contracts. And because of this contraction, the baby is pushed out from the mother's womb. And this period is known as parturition. Okay. Sorry. This period is known as parturition. Now, what happens after the birth? So this is about like how human babies are formed. Even after the birth, you need to take care of the baby. Okay. Now, depending upon how these babies are formed, like by some animals, they are classified as oviparous or viviparous animals. So oviparous animals means you might have seen like some of the animals, they give birth to the directly babies. Okay. And some animals, they lay eggs, and that those eggs hatch, and then the babies are formed. So the animals that give birth directly to the babies, they like human beings, they are known as viviparous animals. And so all the mammals, okay, such as cow, horse, goat, etc., they are viviparous because cow gives birth to directly calf. Horse, it also gives birth to baby. Goat also. Now, animals which lay eggs and that hatch into offsprings, they are known as oviparous. Like, for example, birds, snakes, butterflies, and frogs. So, even how they are giving birth, they first lay eggs, and those eggs, they hatch and it develops into baby. Fine. So, this is the difference between basic difference between oviparous and viviparous animals. So you can see here the duck-billed platypus and spiny anteater. These are the only mammals that are not viviparous. Okay, so all the mammals are viviparous because directly they give birth to the young ones. But these are the only mammals which uh, lays eggs and then they give birth to through their eggs. Now, what is cloning? Cloning, it is nothing but a technique through which many copies of a single gene can be produced. Okay, or you can single genes you can copy chromosome, or you can copy the whole organism. Okay, and most famous example of cloning is Dolly the sheep. You can see here. This is the image of Dolly the sheep. So, which was cloned at Roslin Institute, Scotland. And what is the application of cloning? Yes, so it includes like a generation of tissues and organs for transplantation. So when you want to go for an organ transplantation, so you can generate tissues and organs. Okay, so with the help of cloning. So this is cloning. Now, what are the problems of adolescent pregnancy? As in every, like you, if you go for the statistical data, so adolescent pregnancy, every year 16 million children they are born to the girls in the age group of 15 to 19. So at this age, as the girl is not physically or mentally prepared, emotionally she is not ready for the motherhood, to become mother. So what will happen? It will be dangerous to the mother as well as to the child. And early, because of early marriages and early motherhood, the girls they get deprived of many educational opportunities. So that is why girls should get married after the age of 2021, and when they are capable of handling the motherhood, or when they are physically and mentally prepared for the same, then they should get married and they should go for the pregnancy. Otherwise, they will have many health effects, and also the baby may not be fully mature or may not develop. So this will be problematic for mother as well as baby. So here we come to the end of this lesson. I hope you liked it, and please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel to get more such videos, interesting videos. Okay, so until then, bye bye, and keep watching it. And yes, how did you like the video? Please do comment in the comment section. Don't forget to write in the comment section. Okay, so bye bye, have a nice day.